There's plenty of them. So, you know, hey, we're called terrorists. Anybody that flies a historical American flag, don't tread on me. You're a terrorist. An upside down flag, you're a terrorist. A First Navy Jack, Continental Navy flag, 9 stars, stripes of the Sons of Liberty, you're a terrorist. Sovereign citizen flag, you're a terrorist. Milan Lad, the Greek phrase for over my dead body or come and take it. You're a terrorist. I mean, it goes on and on. So in other words, if you're a constitutional, loving, patriotic person today, you are being painted as a terrorist. Now, I don't know about you, but I take offense at that.
Yep.
That's right.
That's slander. That's libel. That's defamation of character, people. Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
Want to paint it like that? Absolutely. Are we going to stand for that kind of stuff? Now, thankfully, Bob Barr, Chuck Baldwin, and Ron Paul have gotten together, and they sent the governor of Missouri a nice little letter. A nice little letter. And if you go to Infowars.com, you can take a look at it. Pretty well stated. Excellently written. Basically, it says that if you don't retract the statements in this statewide report, which you have your name on, that you approved, that you sent out, you may very well be looking at legal litigation, i.e. lawsuit. It's about time. It's about time we stood up and said enough's enough. This is total mudslinging and setting us up for later roundups. Just, it can't happen, guys. So I would, if you hear anything about in Ohio, the same kind of legislation or the same kind of papers being passed about with Ohio State Highway Patrol or police departments, let them know. Let them know your dissatisfaction and your anger at this kind of fraud. Is what it is, yeah. Okay. We went over House Bill H.R. 45, and that's coming really quickly. Tom, you mentioned what's happening in Schenectady, New York. Their police department, okay, had a few problems in it. They had a few guys that were, caught. This is not good. This is grounds for firing. I'm not saying it's not bad. It is. They caught gambling and drinking and stuff like that. Okay, not good. Especially not on company time or duty time. But their whole department has like 125 officers on it. At least 125 officers. Instead of firing the 5 bad apples, what they want to do is get rid of the entire police force, the whole police department, and replace it with National Guardsmen. Now, is that insane or what? That's totally against Posse Comitatus. And that's totally getting the people of Schenectady ready for martial law. I'll tell you something else that's happening in Schenectady, or in that county. They have just passed a county-wide law or regulation that states that if you buy any ammunition at all, whether it's 22, 223, 308, what have you, you've got to basically show your driver's license, put down your name, address, phone number, social security number, everything, and that amount and caliber has to be registered. Does that smack of anything to you guys?
Really?
Sure does to me. It's the same kind of thing that Russia did, Germany did, of course China, Portugal, etc. did before the final totalitarian takeover. And again, I'm thinking what they're doing in Schenectady is using that as another beta test. Like New Orleans. See how far we can push the people, see how they're going to react, are they going to resist. And so far, there doesn't seem to be much action up there in Schenectady. Tom?
Hey, can I mention something?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead, Tom.
About a month and a half ago, I mentioned to quite a few people I know when we're going to start seeing some shootings in America. I'm not a psychic, but I've been studying this for the last 6 months. We have 10 bills right now, gun bills, they want to pass. and they're looking for anything, any reason they can to pass these bills. I mean, first one I'm thinking of is a guy walks in on Sunday morning in a church in Illinois and shoots the pastor like an assassin. And his gun jammed. There would have been more killings.
Right.
And then he took a knife out and he stabbed himself in the throat. There's something else going on there. And
Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah. I've been studying this for over 6 months now. I told a guy at work after that happened, I said, there's going to be more. And he laughed at me. I told him before that was going to happen. The next day we saw the shooting in Alabama. Okay, then I said there's going to be more. He said if there's more, I'll believe it. Okay, and then we saw that night we got home a shooting in Germany. This is the Western world still. Okay, and I've been talking to people at work about this. Then right across the street from me on Friday there was a shooting at the body shop. This is the reason I'm bringing this up. This is significant. Look for this profile of people who kill and then kill themselves.
Right.
Okay. If you want to know more about it, grab me and I'll teach you a little bit about it. I've been studying this. There's no way to prove that any of these people are what I'm talking about, because I'll explain why. But this is significant and it's important. You know, I mean, if somebody was armed, and had their Second Amendment right, they could have stopped probably some of this.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, in Germany they got a total gun ban. How in the world does a 17-year-old kid get a gun? How in the world did that happen? And I don't know, but we need to consider this, and I think it's significant.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Tom. Absolutely excellent.
And Virginia Tech.
Very good. Tom, I don't want to steal any of your thunder, okay? Everybody needs to talk to Tom about this absolutely important subject. But I'll just touch on it a little bit, Tom, all right? This is also one of my areas of expertise, as you know. And, folks, our country has been gone for a long time. We just didn't know about it. The CIA has been running programs such as MK Ultra, Artichoke, all kinds of mind control programs with people that have been in the military and out of the military for a long, long time. This stuff is real. I'm not going to get in depth, Tom, but these things are true and correct. They are actually mind controlling people. How many ever saw the movie The Manchurian Candidate? The original one? Okay. Well, that's basically what we're talking about. They take people like Timothy McVeigh was one. Timothy McVeigh, who was the patsy for the Oklahoma City bombing, basically was mind controlled in the Army. And when he got out, his programming was still sticking real fine. And they're able then to take different personalities that they program into a person. I'm not going to go into the whole techniques on how they do it because it's pretty horrific. But basically what they do is they program a person with multi-personalities and program each one of those personalities with a definite expertise. They become an expert in munitions, demolitions, drug smuggling, whatever. And then that particular personality then can be called up in an instant by using a code phrase, code color, sound, music, song, whatever, either over the radio or a telephone call or in person. And that person then brings up that personality to the front, and then he becomes that person. He then carries out whatever mission he is given to do. And that, I think, is a lot of what's happening across the country right now, Tom. That very kind of thing. The Manchurian Candidates are out there, and they've been programmed. I'm not saying all of them have been. There's a lot of school shootings with kids that have been on all kinds of psychotropic drugs. That actually increases depression, and it increases the desire for suicide and killing. That's another thing that you can look into. The drugs actually cause enhanced schizophrenia, paranoia, an enhanced desire for suicide and killing. It's documented.
Is that stuff covered in the DVD, which I couldn't see the whole thing of because it was too upsetting, Psychiatry and Industry of Death?
Yes, it is.
I got that.
They don't go into a big detail in it, but they do touch on it. The Columbine incident and how Klebold and those guys were on it, absolutely. Zoloft and all that stuff is terrible. You know, I'm not playing doctor here or anything, but the documentation is so scary that most all of the school shootings over the last 15 years have been kids on this stuff or just haven't gotten off of it. And when they try to get off of it cold turkey, of course, that's when they freak out.